Good morning vlog. Last night I decided that I wanted to make Bluth's frozen bananas. So naturally we are in the bulk barn because that is where you can buy all of the things, including extra things that you don't actually need. Right, Sam? Yeah. Sam then decided to come with me and now she's going to make thin mint? Peppermint patties. Because, you know, why not? It'll be delicious. And then we'll watch Harry Potter tonight and it'll be fantastic. Alright, so earlier today I tweeted about making these frozen bananas. And I got a couple responses, so thank you to you guys who responded. And most of you said that you should freeze the banana first before putting the chocolate on because it makes it easier. So I guess that's what we're going to do. I've got my tray with some wax paper so it doesn't stick to anything. I got some skewers. And then I'm gonna cut up the bananas and put them on the skewers. Alright, so my bananas are on sticks. That sounds ridiculous, but it is an actual thing. It's surprisingly hard because they end up splitting, like that one. The first one I did is the worst one, of course. But now they need to freeze, and then after they're frozen for a little while, I'll dip them in some chocolate. So the bananas have been in the freezer for a little while, so I'm gonna start making the chocolate covering stuff. I've got some water boiling on the stove. And then I was told not to use like chocolate chips because they don't work as well, like they don't stick to the thing, the banana properly. So I've got some huge wafers which are meant for melting and putting on things. So I'm going to put this on the simmering hot water and then hopefully it'll melt properly and then I'll start dipping. Covering bananas in chocolate. This is like the best thing ever. It's also cool because the bananas are frozen, the initial layer of chocolate is like hardening really fast.
It freezes on contact?
Yeah, it's really cool. I don't know if I have enough chocolate though.
Can you make me a job, please?
Oh, what's that?
Double everything.
No.
Even double sticks?
Double sticks? That'll just make... Look what happens when you put in one stick. You want 2 sticks? That is not helpful.
Hey vlog! So I managed to make these peppermint patties and they are quite delicious.
Yep.
Yeah.
I may have already, I'm like alternating between bananas and peppermint patties. Just to alternate them?
Yeah. They're really, actually, they turned out way better than I thought they would have because it's such a simple, easy recipe. It's like, what is it? Icing sugar, corn syrup, peppermint flavoring, water, and just a tiny little bit of shortening, like vegetable shortening, and you just mix it all together.
And then pour chocolate on it?
Yeah, and you freeze it first, and then you cut it up, and then you pour chocolate on it. The chocolate bit is actually more difficult than the actual making of the patty bit, because you gotta make sure it's not just like a ball of chocolate. But
like you have some nice patterns going on here.
Yeah, they're very artistic.
This one, I like this one. It's got a wing of some kind.
Yeah. You know, I tried. So it's just pretty. It's extra chocolate. So, you know.
You're saying you're worried that it wasn't going to be any good because it was an easy recipe.
Yeah.
I just covered bananas in chocolate and peanuts.
Yeah. And it was delicious.
Is not a hard thing to do at all. And
No.
It makes the banana like 800 times better. And it's healthy because it's a banana. It's banana and peanuts, which are both really healthy. Chocolate's healthy too.
Yeah.
So
sort of.
I'm eating fruit, guys.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
And these are really healthy because they're really nothing but sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Look how beautiful they are. They're like covered in peanuts and chocolate and deliciousness. I want one. I want that one. Yeah.
So I may or may not have already had one. This may or may not be my second one tonight, but it's delicious. Good. So apparently when you leave the bananas in the freezer for a really long time, they actually get a lot more frozen than expected. Because usually, like, when you leave the bananas in the freezer for a while, they're not hard like anything else that would be they're not like ice frozen. They're like weird soft frozen. But if you leave them in for a really long time, they actually do freeze, and then you gotta like thaw them out a little bit. But they're still tasty. They're just really crumbly and messy. Our Harry Potter adventure continues. We
Kind
just
of ends, but sort of not.
Yeah, well, we just watched the first one. We just watched the first part of this last movie, is to be a little more precise than.
Yeah.
We did not watch The Philosopher's Stone. We watched the very, very last one, part 1.
Yeah.
That's way too complicated. You know, tears happened. That whole Dobby thing.
Yeah.
We got some banana. We're taking a break. Gonna eat some bananas and some peppermint patties, and then we're gonna watch the second one. Because why not?
Second part.
You can't. Yes.
I'm putting peanuts everywhere.
The second part, not the second movie. We're gonna go from the last one, part 1, to the Chamber of Secrets. No, we are watching the last movie, parts 1 and 2. That's what we're doing. So we're gonna go to the last movie.
Yeah, which is really just the saddest way to watch
Just
it.
depressing.
Just start with like just the end.
We're just, yeah. We don't need all the other ones. We're just gonna...
All of the death.
Well, we were watching the bonus material for the first half of the last... First half. That makes more sense than the first one. The first half of the last movie. I mean, you can't watch that and then not watch the movie.
No.
So we watched the movies.
Yeah.
Movie. We gotta watch the second one still. This is way too complicated. Maybe we should just watch the movies and just deal with it. They're very good. If you've never seen Harry Potter, you should watch all of them.
I love
Start
them.
with number 1.
I love them
And
so
then go
much.
all the way through. I need to make Corrado watch all of them. Corrado sat down and watched the first half with us for a little bit, and then he left. I was like, where are you going? You haven't seen this movie. What is wrong with you? He's like, oh, I don't know what's going on. And I was like, you've seen all the other ones? Clearly that means it's time that he needs to watch them again.
Yeah. He was asking a lot of questions.
Yeah. A lot of silly questions.
Like, who is that?
Who is this very important
that's Harry
character?
Potter.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to know who that is. I'm gonna watch the second one now. And probably cry a lot.
Just
Mainly with
waterfalls and
Snape's memories. Just I know I'm just gonna cry with that.
And then,
so.
Spoilers.
Just everything. Go watch the movies. Watch them.
Give me daily vlogs, I want them in my subscription box. I wonder who might drop by, even though sometimes it's Canada outside. So don't go away, we're here every day. It's not ApprenticeEh, it's ApprenticeA. Hey, hey.